Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tom Worth Jr. We've got a big meeting in Canada with the G7. People were arriving today. Meetings will be underway Thursday morning, and Thursday they'll issue a joint statement Friday. Or will they? The U.S., according to Marco Rubio, who is there, he's all over the place. Kudos to that guy. I mean, I get tired taking a flight for 3 hours somewhere. He's going from DC to Saudi Arabia and over to Quebec, up in Canada now. He doesn't want to step on any Russian toes. Doesn't want to say anything that might offend the Russians in any kind of statement on Ukraine. Meanwhile, the foreign minister of Canada, who will be hosting this, Melanie Joly is the name I saw. She sounds pretty tough. Sounds like a tough French-Canadian sounding person. I listened to her speaking a little bit, read some of her quotes going into this thing. She wants this to be about tariffs and about Canada not backing down, about Canada not being part of the United States. For Rubio's part, he said, well, this meeting isn't about Canada being part of the United States. And then he goes, and the Canadians don't want that, apparently. And he kind of smirked when he said that. Such a stooge. I'm really glad this meeting is in Canada right now. This is pretty cool because I don't know if you all saw that yesterday in Paris on Tuesday. There was a meeting with about 30 foreign ministers, all of our traditional allies of the U.S. The U.S. was not invited. It was in Paris. It was the EU, it was NATO, it was Japan and Australia also. Kind of a who's who of the free world, except for the United States. They say they were discussing Ukraine plans, and they are not counting on the U.S. being a part of this. They didn't say this exactly, but obviously they do not trust Donald Trump's administration to share any kind of information, any intelligence, any strategy, any negotiating tactics that they might be employing. They cannot trust the United States anymore. Canada cannot trust the United States for trade anymore. So these nations are working together. They are not counting on us being there. And this meeting in Quebec is supposed to be largely about Ukraine. And Rubio is thinking it needs to be more about China. Now, it needs to be about a lot of things with the G7, but mostly about Ukraine. That's what they are. I mean, that's their main focus, the sanctions on Russia, the statement that would come out. Remember, the U.S. would not vote for the UN statement a few weeks ago that called out Russia for invading Ukraine. The U.S. refused to sign it along with Iran and Russia, Belarus. Even China did not refuse to sign it. They did not say no. They just abstained from the vote to issue that statement. So even China wouldn't go along with Russia the way that Donald Trump's administration did. So this is getting pretty interesting. That's what I'll have my eye on tomorrow. As for domestic issues, I don't know if you all knew that not only was it illegal to not buy a Tesla, but it is a domestic terrorism offense to vandalize a Tesla store. Rather than it being vandalism, it would be an act of domestic terrorism, according to Donald Trump. I don't know. This is great. Everything is imploding around Trump. I know there's speculation that he is intentionally tanking the U.S. economy, and it would seem so. And even during the election, it seemed like that was his intent. and you didn't know why. Now, it's not hard to figure out why. It's what Vladimir Putin wants. But he does back down at, he goes right up to the edge and then stops, often, with tariffs, with threats, with the 50%, no, at 25%. Well, it's going to start today, starting in the morning. Well, no, it started this morning, but now it's lunchtime, and we're going to give them another 28 days, another 30 days. So if he truly wanted to just wreck everything, it seems like he does want to wreck everything, and he is wrecking everything. But if he really wanted to go all the way, and he really wanted to burnish his tough guy image, he would just hardcore, these are the tariffs. These are 25%, these are 50%. These go into effect tomorrow. We'll come back and talk about it 30 days from now, but we're not taking these tariffs off for 30 days, and we're going to get these people to do what we want them to do. He's not doing that. So that's really the only thing that would make me question whether he is intentionally completely destroying the economy. It could be a case of he wants to do that, but then the CEOs get to him, the Republican senators get to him when the CEOs and donors twist their arms. So maybe they're making him back down. I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out, because there are tariffs in place right now. Some of them have gone through, and we'll see how long they go for and what kind of damage they do. Inflation wasn't bad this morning with the inflation report out. A lot of people thought it might be already ticking back up again. It hadn't yet. So he's got a reprieve there. And then on the deficit, which he ran up more than any president in history in his first term, and he's had the worst month and a half in history. It has added $1 trillion to the national deficit here, and from the beginning of the year to now, it's the fastest that has ever happened. So this is just Trump being Trump. This is him operating as he always operates, whether it was as president the first time or as the head of his various so-called businesses, just running up debts, just running up deficits. A bit of good news from Chuck Schumer. He did not cave. It looked for all the world as if he was going to cave with the Senate and have them go ahead and keep the government open along with the Republicans. But, I mean, common sense prevailed here, I think. When you're Fetterman saying, I just can't abide shutting down the government of the United States, and he's a Democratic senator. Well, when the Republicans are already shutting down the government of the United States, why would you assist them in passing a budget that gives them more money to spend on what they want to spend it on and takes away money from what it needs to be spent on? Why would you do that? Like, just continue on for 30 days. That's what we're going to do. That's what an actual continuing resolution is. That's the proposal, and that should go back to the House, I guess, tomorrow. They do have until Friday at midnight to work all this out. So Mike Johnson, Mr. Cocky, Mr. Tough Guy, supposedly told the Senate, the House of Representatives, that he dismissed them for the weekend. Like, he was so confident that the Senate was going to pass this. But the Republican senators, there aren't enough of them. You need 60. They've only got 53. Rand Paul's not going to vote on it. That gives them 52, so you need 8 Democrats. There are not 8 Democrats. There might be 1, Fetterman, but not 8. So should go back to the House, and there should be a clean continuing resolution, which just means business as usual for another 30 days. This is very different than threatened government shutdowns last year and the year before, because there was negotiating happening behind the scenes, behind Hakeem Jeffries and Mike Johnson. They did work together, and this time the Republicans decided they were going to completely cut the Democrats out of everything and just strong arm it through and count on the Democrats, being good governance people. But when you have an administration that is already tearing down the government, I don't know. Maybe it makes sense to have the government shut down so they can't do any more damage. Maybe that's the strategy here. I don't know. But I'm that we know that's going to play out. We know that one way or another the government will be kept open. I'm more interested in all of our allies standing up to us, like they did in Paris yesterday, and then how they'll do in Canada for the next day and a half. I just think that's awesome. I'm not rooting against my own country. I'm rooting against Donald Trump and his cronies. And I think we all should be. And whenever he gets slapped down enough, whenever our allies prove that they are strong enough to do this without us, as I believe they are, we don't know for sure because they've never done it before, but I believe they are. I think Trump then backs down and we can maybe get back to a little bit of business as usual. That's the hope. But it will all start with that statement that comes out Friday afternoon, whether it includes any fighting words about Ukraine or not. Rubio saying it can't, and everyone else is saying it must. So we'll see. That's it. And we'll talk to you all tomorrow.